In today's video, I'm going to show you a technique on how to create beautiful buttercream stripes very simply without any special tools other than a cake comb, which many of you probably already have. This is the comb that we're going to be using today. And the first step in all of this is to frost the cake, and the cake that I'm using today is a 6-inch double barrel cake. A double barrel cake means it's extra tall, so we have a video tutorial on the technique, but basically it's just a cake. It's a cake that has a support halfway up. So we have our 2 layers of cake, then a cake cardboard that's cut down to size, and 4 bubble tea straws beneath it, and that supports the upper 2 layers that we added after that. So we frosted it all as one, and as you can see, this layer of frosting isn't see-through. It's a little thicker than my normal crumb coat would be. That's because I want to build out the frosting a little bit more than usual because we're going to be going back in with the cake comb, and this cake comb is pretty deep. It's about 1/4 of an inch deep with the ridges that it has. I'm just going to swirl it around another time and kind of smooth things out a little bit. And then I'm going to chill this in the freezer until the buttercream is firm. I'm using our classic vanilla buttercream because we want a butter-based frosting because we are going to be chilling the frosting to make it firm for this process to work. Okay, so we are going to chill it for about 5 minutes or so, and we'll meet right back. Okay, so the cake has been chilled for about 5 or 6 minutes. The frosting is firm. And now you can see I'm going back over it with another coating of my buttercream. Fairly thick. Okay. And next we will smooth over all of this with a bench scraper. I'm going to go in with my bench scraper. I'm not going to take away that much frosting. I'm just kind of getting it smooth and sort of all the same thickness all the way around. Okay, so I've just gone around and smoothed things over with my bench scraper, and I have a little bit of buildup around the top edge of the cake, so I'm just going to take my spatula and gently push that towards the center. Just hold it so that it's catching it on the side. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my cake comb, and I'm going to try to do this all in one rotation. So I'm going to just reach around. Okay, so once you've made it all the way around, you'll have some excess on your comb. Just scrape that off, and we're going to chill this in the freezer until it becomes nice and firm, probably about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so the cake was in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and the buttercream is very firm. I've just gone over with just my dry spatula to smooth over a couple of places that needed smoothing on top. And because the frosting is so firm, I can easily do that. Okay, so what we've done is we've tinted 2 piping bags of buttercream. One is tinted with, is it AmeriColor Deep Pink?
Wilton, both are Wilton.
Okay. The pink is Wilton Rose, the green is Wilton Leaf Green. And we've put a medium-sized round piping tip. These are both piping tip 10. So we chose that because we are going to be piping in the ridges, and the 10 was a good size for the thickness of this ridge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to keep a steady pressure as I pipe in between our ridged lines from the comb, and I'm just going to try to hold my hand steady as I rotate it on the turntable. And it's about the same thickness as the white ridges. So what we talked about is doing 2 of each color, or 2 at a time. So we'll do another row of our pink. I think so. And then we'll do green. I would try to get it nice and full. It's okay if it goes a little bit over the white ridge because we're going to be scraping this with our bench scraper to get rid of the excess, and we should be left with some nice clean buttercream lines.
I wonder if it's going to work out right.
I think if I counted right,
Okay.
we're going to have just the right amount of spacing. This is the worst. This turntable I chose is, I think, got something stuck in it. Okay. We're almost finished. This is why I like to do a cake comb that's has the ridges kind of spaced out, because otherwise if you have tiny little stripes it will take much longer. Okay, so now I'm just going back in and doing some touch-ups in places where it looks like I don't have quite enough of my frosting, where it gets really low in some areas, because I want it to be about even with our white. Okay. But when we go and scrape away the excess, we will be taking off some of the white ridges also, so it should even out to where it looks just about right. Here's another low spot I want to pipe into. Okay, so I'm just going to go in at a slight angle, but I'm holding my bench scraper so that it hits the turntable as I spin. And I'm using firm pressure. Okay, so I've heated my bench scraper with a little hot water so that it will smooth over everything a little bit better. So let's go with our hot bench scraper, and that definitely helps it.
Yes.
Okay, I needed to heat it a little bit more. And then I'm just careful not to move my spatula or my bench scraper too much as I'm rotating, because I don't want these straight lines to get distorted. Okay. Also, in doing this process, I can see some places that might need to be built out a little bit more with the color. Okay, so as we do these final little touch-ups, I'm really just lightly going over it at this point. I think it looks really good. Here's another spot that I had piped on, you can see. So we'll just go really lightly. Let me go over one more time. I think it looks really, really interesting. I love the pink and green. And I also love that we could do it with a cake comb. So what I'm going to do now, I think we will probably add some borders and maybe do some decorating on top. But I don't want to do anything yet. This is on its own cake board, so we are going to chill it for about 5 to 10 minutes until the buttercream is nice and firm again. And then we're going to move it to its pedestal. Okay, so our cake at this point is almost finished. I think we're going to keep the top decoration very simple so we don't take away from our pretty stripes. You can see I've done a tiny bead border with a Wilton tip 4, just a small round tip. And now I have a big French tip that we're going to pipe some icing decorations on the very top. And this is the same tip I've used for meringues also in other videos, but it makes a really pretty design. Okay, so our cake is finished. I think it came out really pretty. I love the buttercream stripes, and it's something unique that you don't see very often. So it's just another technique that you can add to your little bag of tricks for buttercream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching.